Once again, that was The North Shore by Gord Downie and Bob Rock. And you're with me here. I'm Steve, and this is the Oneiric Discotheque. We're going to finish off today's episode with something really special. It's a long form piece that was just released by Paul Simon. It's called Seven Psalms, and it consists of 7 individual songs that are woven together into an approximately 33-minute long medley. Paul Simon said that beginning in 2019, he would wake up 3 or 4 nights a week, 2 or 3 nights a week, 2 or 3 nights a week, between 3 and 5:30 in the morning, and words would just come to him, and he would write them down. And so he wrote wrote the music around the words that he was getting out of this kind of dream state. I've used this compositional method to write poems. For about 3 years, I was writing poetic improvisations first thing in the morning upon waking up, but before I was really fully awake. And so when you're still in that not quite awake state, your brain is not functioning the same way that it does when you're fully awake. So he was kind of taking advantage of that sort of drift. I call it the drift and shift functions of the brain, where your thoughts will just kind of drift along, and then they'll suddenly shift in ways that they don't when you're, like I said, when you're fully awake. So I appreciate what he did with this compositional technique that he was using on these tracks. And he takes advantage of it in the music too. It starts off with kind of almost a temple bell sound that then kind of leads into a guitar figure that he plays that's similar to the one from Angie from the Sounds of Silence LP. Kind of a guitar figure that he picked up from listening to Davy Graham, the great English folk guitar player. And so from there, that guitar figure, the one that sounds like it's from Angie, comes back a few times during the medley. So it's kind of the thing that ties the rest together. But he also goes into other styles. He has one section that sounds a little bit like a 20s or 30s blues guitar bit, and and any number of other sort of guitar sections. He uses different styles, not all the same style. And the vocal style stays consistent from section to section, so that kind of gives it a consistency while the music does make changes that shift for every few minutes. And musically, it's organic. All the instruments are acoustic. And Paul Simon is joined in the vocals by a British choir group called Vosie's 8, and also by his wife Edie Brickell, who comes in more toward the end, almost as kind of an angelic figure. If you can picture it as picture these as psalms. So you're sort of in the mind of heavenly influences. It's also hard not to think of Bowie's Black Star when I listen to this. It's a really kind of a late life meditation on one's life and one's mortality, and using all the tricks that one has learned over the course of one's long and varied career. Although I hope Paul Simon will be with us for a little bit longer, at least a little bit longer than Bowie was after he released Black Star. But like I said, it was hard for me to avoid making that comparison, even though these are very different musical statements. Just the kind of circumstances under which they were created remind me. But anyway, this is just a stunning piece of music, and give it a listen. And I'll be back with another one of these at some point in the future. Be sure to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment, and kind of let me know what you thought, and where you think we can go from here. Till then, 7 Psalms from Paul Simon on the Oneiric Discotheque.